Welcome to POC Stories. Today, I'm welcoming Nida, and she's going to talk more about her passion to pole dance, and also I'm going to ask her a question about how it is wearing the hijab and doing pole dance. So, can you introduce yourself?
So my name's Neda. I'm from Los Angeles, California. My full-time job is a nurse practitioner, and my full-time sport now is pole.
Okay. And how did you get passionate about pole dance?
I wasn't expecting it. My main sport was swimming. I've been swimming for years, competing in everything. And, I went to my first pole class a day after my last race for the summer because I was like, oh, I want something new. I want to try something out of my comfort zone. So when I saw that there's a pole studio just a mile from me, I was like, well, wouldn't this be funny? I wasn't expecting this to become a passion. I just went because I thought like it would be a joke if, someone like me goes to a pole dance class. And when I went, I realized I was completely wrong about pole. Everybody was very body positive there. The instructor was very welcoming. All the students were very kind. And it was very hard. I was sore. I had muscles that I never even worked before that were just in pain. But I kept coming back because, of those reasons. I was pushed and it was a very accepting environment.
Okay. And why did you decide to do pole dance?
Just because of how physically challenging it is that I didn't know that there's different kinds of pole. I think most people, when they think of pole, they think of exotic, or dance in the club, which is fine. Like strippers, for example, in the club, they have influenced pole. I will never deny that, and I will never speak badly of another woman who chooses that as work, because that is real work. But in pole itself, there's many other categories that I was able to see myself in. I don't do exotic, but I try to do more of the aerial stuff, like the tricks, the sports stuff, where I kind of see it's a good balance between gymnastics and ballet. I feel like I could be graceful like a ballerina, but, physically challenge myself in a way that a gymnast would. So I feel like it's combining both things that are just really fun to me.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And before starting pole dance, did you had in your mind any stereotype about it, or?
Oh yeah, like I said, I thought that the only type of pole was the one for exotic. That is something that only strippers do, and which is fine. But I went in thinking that there's no place for me because of that. And that's why I thought it'd be funny for me to go. But then after I was so sore from my first class, I wasn't laughing anymore. So, I had my own misconceptions about it, and I stayed because I realized that it is a very big world. And, if you don't want to do exotic, that's fine. There's other places in pole that you could see yourself in. And I see myself in, the types of routines that I do, which I feel like is more sporty. I mean, there's 10 different categories of pole. If you go to any competition in pole, which I haven't competed myself, but there's art pole, there's sport pole, there's exotic pole, there's dramatic pole, theater, there's so many categories,
Okay. And what kind of pole are you doing?
I do mostly sport. And the reason it's mostly called sport is because I'm holding myself up in the air for as long as I can, doing different shapes that require me to transition, while I'm climbing, and everything. So it's more like I'm holding poses for an extended amount of time. Dance like exotic, for example, is a lot faster. They usually wear heels. So yeah, that's the one that I do. I'm mostly doing it for sport.
Okay. And since how long are you doing it?
It's been 1 year for me now.
Okay. And did you tell to your relatives about it?
Um, Honestly, my family's not very big. So the relatives that I have, like, in Iran, for example, I'm not very much in touch with them to begin with. But I mean, I've had no problems. So it's been fine. I think it makes it easier that I just don't really have a big family to begin with.
Okay. And did you had like at the beginning this feeling of, oh, I'm maybe like doing wrong because I'm wearing hijabi and I'm doing pole dance, or not?
No, I mean, other people felt that way. There was men that harassed me because of that. I didn't feel like I was doing anything wrong. Because I just felt like, well, I'm all covered up and I don't really feel like I'm doing any kind of moves that are like, like sexual or whatever, which, I'm not saying that's bad for other dancers to do it, but as far as the way that I observe hijab and everything, that's what's important to me is, I felt like for my standards, I felt I was fine. Because I'm doing this for myself. I'm not doing this to entice. And as far as my dress, I was criticized for how I dressed much before pole. If you wear hijab, the criticism does not end, even if you're walking. You're always going to be told that your butt looks too big in that, your boobs look too big in that. What are you wearing pants? Someone always is going to have something to say. But I've just learned that it's not important to me anymore. They could say whatever they want. So that's why it wasn't hard for me with pole, is I was already used to hearing that kind of criticism. But again, that it's none of their business,
Did you get also like, serious attacks, like violent attacks because you're wearing hijabi and you are doing pole dance, or not at all?
No, I mostly got hateful messages, but the thing is that, the hateful messages were mostly coming from other men. And, because these men were bringing so much attention to my account, I also had a lot of supportive messages from other women. So when these men were trying to make fun of me, or say that what I'm doing is haram or whatever, they actually brought more attention to my profile. So it's just funny to me because I'm like, if you really believe what I'm doing is evil, then what are you doing bringing so much attention? Because now more people knew about me because of their actions. So it backfired, and that's what was just kind of funny to me.
What kind of advice could you give like to someone who's wearing the hijab and would like also to do pole dance?
My advice for somebody who's wearing hijab and doing pole is they don't have to go public like I did. Not everybody's comfortable with going public like I did. That's not the purpose of pole. For me, it's because I wanted other people, to be inspired by what I'm doing, but I'm not doing it for other people. If other people are inspired, that's great. But I do this for myself first, and I like to share what makes me happy with other people. But if that's not what you're comfortable with, that's okay. You could do pole in private. Not everybody has to do pole the way that I am.
What does the pole dance bring to you? Like, does it bring to you like confidence or?
So yeah, like it gives me a lot of confidence. It gives me a lot of like power in my own body. It makes me feel like it makes me really feel what my body is capable of doing, because it takes a lot of strength to do what I'm doing, and there's a lot of ways to be discouraged in this, because when I first came to class, like I saw these other women doing all these tricks, and I'm like, I'm never going to be able to do that. I'm never going to be able to go upside down, and then I'm doing it now with no problem, so like it just makes me feel that if I'm just patient with myself, if I'm just consistent, the stuff that looked impossible to me a few months ago, I can do it now. And it's that progress that is just addictive,
And do you have anything else to say, or?
No, it's just that I'm very happy with what I'm doing. And, I'm very happy that I have a lot of other women, especially messaging me, saying how happy they are to see what I'm doing. That's why I share my journey, is that it's not for the attention. It's that, I feel like I'm showing people that if they believe in themselves and if they step out of their comfort zone, they can really discover a lot of powerful things about what they can do.